Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of the Sports Insight with your host Alamdar Khan. And as you all know, we're basically providing you quality sports information from all across the globe. You guys can definitely reach us on our social media handle, which is at the rate of Indus News Sports, so we can make this show more interactive. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the headlines for the show today. Yes, the first news is PCB Cricket Committee is actually dissatisfied with the team performance. We'll be surely talking about what was truly discussed. And yes, from the world of football, Burnley versus Manchester United and Manchester United at the top of the Premier League. We'll be talking about the match that happened. So Formula One, yes, from the world of Formula One, Australia's Formula One and the Chinese Grand Prix have been postponed due to the coronavirus disruption. We'll be talking about that. Yes, Australian Open 2021. Ankita Raina moves to the final round. Yes, we'll be talking about this India's top-ranked women player. All right, so as we're talking about the entire idea that PCB is really dissatisfied with regards to the team's performance. And they actually called in the senior officials to discuss the entire agenda, but definitely they still require that strategy. So where did we go wrong when it was Pakistan versus New Zealand? Was it the bowling side? Was it the coach side? Everybody's upset, but they still do not want the dissatisfaction to continue. But anyways, to discuss all of the matter, because South Africa is on the way to Pakistan to tour, we have former cricketer Yasir Hamid with us, and I would want him to, welcome him first. Yasir, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So
Assalamualaikum.
Yasir, I would like to start the questions by Pakistan versus New Zealand. We went there obviously during the quarantine situation, corona situation, the major ups and downs, not practicing. Where do you see we went wrong? Was it the strategy? How do you see us performing in New Zealand?
The New Zealand is a place where there is some difficulties for our batsmen. It has been a difficult venue for a Pakistani batsman, because I've also toured there.
Right.
And adjusting there is not an easy thing.
Right.
Because I remember when I went there in 2003,
right.
and we won that series.
Right.
Only that time, or maybe one more time, we have won the series in New Zealand.
Right.
And there we have scored 1-0.
Against
the first test has been draw, and the second test we won.
Right.
And I've got 50s in both test matches. In one match I got 80, in one match I got 50,
nice.
And inside match I've got 96 runs.
Wow.
What I mean to say that you need time to adjust there.
Right.
And the bad thing which happened due to COVID-19, that our players went there and had been isolated.
True.
So, the situation and the scenario, it got over their head. That it was very frustrating for the players.
I'm sure.
I would say that this was one of the reasons of the very declined performance.
Right.
But on the other hand, if you see, there are a lot of players. I must say, Rizwan,
right.
He performed exceptionally well. He has performed in almost every game.
Right.
So what's the difference? The difference is, I think, application.
Right.
If you apply yourself, no doubt what type of conditions you are facing, but you have to apply yourself.
True.
And you have to be very, precise, and you have to think hard, you have to make effort, you have to think out of the box, that how I would play in these conditions.
Right. But anyways, what I'd like to add in right now is basically the consistency that is actually required when it comes to cricket. And I think when a player comes to that point of consistency, so I think that's one of the most important applications to it. But anyways, we'll still continue our journey with regards to where did Pakistan go wrong? If we seriously look into the batting side, there was definitely a disastrous side as well, because we were hoping and we were expecting the batting lineup and the bowling lineup to be to the spot. But what really went wrong was something like Yasir just said, that it was technically very hard for the team to, So Yasir, tell me something. How do you see, was it the lack of practice to be that consistent? Because from what I hear from your story right now, back in 2003, you were facing it, but you were having issues because even though it was a practice match, but you stood there.
Yeah, after that practice, you have to click, and you will click with your positive intent.
Right.
You cannot click with your negative zone. If you go in defense, if you go onto back foot,
Right.
and till what time you will survive?
True.
You cannot survive the whole day and scoring no runs, 50 overs, 60 runs. Obviously, you will fall your 5 wickets. Right?
Right.
So in 50 overs, you have to show some intent, positive intent. You have to destroy the bowling attack with your positive display. But unfortunately, our batsmen, top order, they had not any plan to. They had not any way out from that condition. Obviously, if there is swing, if he is swinging the ball, you have to create that length for your shots.
Right.
You have to play on the up. You have to play cut shots. So you have to calculate. You have to calculate your, so which ball you have to hit and which ball you have to leave.
True. Yasir,
So,
tell me something.
unfortunately-
Even then, if you look at it, the first match that we had, the T20 against New Zealand, Pakistan lost. The second one we lost. But when it came to the third T20, Pakistan won that match. And it obviously showed us that our team is still as strong as it is supposed to be. But then came the test sessions and obviously the same trickle-down effect. So how do you see that, for instance, if we came down to that point of, proving ourselves, why couldn't we come up to prove ourselves when the test matches started?
See, if you see the tour when it started, first we lost T20, but last T20 we won.
Right.
And why we won? Because we have learned from first 2 T20s.
True.
But you have to change your gears very quickly in these days.
Right.
Because after T20s, you don't have one days, you have test matches.
Right.
So you have to change your gears, you have to change your mentality. But test match doesn't mean you go and you block the ball.
Right.
You go and you shoot the ball. It
Right.
doesn't mean that you have 5 days and you have all the time in the world and you will not get runs. This is not a right attitude. If you will not dominate the bowling,
Right.
if you not dominate the bowling with your shots, there is, if the batsmen have weak point, there is a weak point of the bowler as well.
Right.
So you have to, as a good player, you have to see where I can attack this bowler, where I can attack this bowler. Don't let him make his line. If you let him make his line, he will eat you. It's simple as that.
Absolutely. So tell me something.
Yeah.
So why didn't we, as a team, specifically when it comes to the bowling side, we always consider the idea that Pakistan has a very strong bowling attack, if I'm not wrong. So if we had that strong bowling attack, why were we still unable to get those quick wickets when we were playing those test matches?
See, actually, I'm more disappointed from bowling than batting because Pakistan have produced so many good bowlers
Right.
from last 2 years. They have pace, they have swing,
Right.
but they don't have belief.
True.
Let me tell you one thing. You have to believe. I must say that Shaheen Shah Afridi, he always created an opportunity and given you breakthrough in every game from the top.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
But you need support. It's more, about the partnership. Just like we have partnership in batting,
Right.
we must have partnership in bowling.
So basically, what you're
If
suggesting
one-
is basically our team as a team was lacking the teamwork, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly, that's right. The teamwork was lacking, and if we say that the COVID is one of the reason, that would be not wrong, because it has a big impact on everyone in these days. These are pandemics,
Right.
and I think the margin of uh, you have to uh, give them that margin.
Right.
But again,
Right.
yeah,
I wanted to ask you,
but
for instance, with regards to PCB, like PCB, just the newly approved chairman Salim Yusuf actually said that they're really dissatisfied with the team's performance, and obviously they've called in Ms. Haq to come and discuss the entire issue. Obviously, Baka Yunus as well, but yes, they do not want any dissatisfaction. So, and they said being second will not be an option when South Africa visits Pakistan. So, what do you say about that?
yeah, obviously they are right, because it will be more humiliation if
Right.
we lose against South Africa in home.
Yes. Yes.
But we should not think like that. If
Right.
that happens, that would be very worse.
Right.
And then I think there should be some serious and some decisions have to be taken after that. Because that will be very humiliating if
Absolutely.
we lost to South Africa. But
Yes.
we can understand New Zealand is a tough conditions. But for few players, I must say there should be questions should be asked, and they should be sent back to the domestic cricket, and they should be they should prove themselves.
Yes, I hope
Again,
so too. I hope so too. What I'll do is, Yasir, I'll just take a quick break, and when I come back, I'll talk more about the fielding element that actually brought us to where we are. See you guys after the break. So yes, we're back from the break, and yes, with us is former cricketer Yasir Hamid, and we're discussing the wisdom that he has with regards to the improvement in Pakistan cricket team. So Yasir, tell me, if Pakistan cricket team says, like, because some of the situations that actually were mentioned was the COVID situation, do you think, because I know for a fact that someone following those COVID protocols will definitely drain the boys wherever they go. Like for instance, when someone is touring, it is not easy. Do you think we still need some serious psychologists, psychotherapists who can actually keep our morals high when we're in isolation?
yeah, definitely, it's very important that we need some practices, spiritual practices, some
Right.
mental health practices,
True.
but it's very long isolation. We all understand that it's not easy when you isolated and you go to ground and perform, but it's up to individual as well, that he has to make a way out for himself, because this is a professional cricket.
Absolutely.
And everyone is in isolation at the moment, and other teams are performing. So why not we? If we give this excuse
Right.
all the time,
Right.
I think that should not be acceptable.
Right.
Yeah, once you can say that you were in New Zealand and 15 days is a long time, long days.
Right.
You are stuck in your hotel room. We can understand, but in South Africa Pakistan series, I think that excuse should not be applicable.
Absolutely.
Because everyone will be at their home.
Absolutely.
And if not at home, hotel, whatever, we have
Right.
our own country,
Right.
our own grounds.
Right.
So that would be obviously minus
Yes.
from in that series.
So we're
And if you
basically
talk
hoping
about-
for the best with regards to South Africa. But let's get to the point of fielding. The fielding, the drop catches, they have been, to be very honest, even if you've seen how players work, even in the first class cricket, they're like, they give their life as players to ensure that the fielding is spot on. we had 9 drop catches. How do we see that we can improve our fielding, specifically, even if we have that South Africa upcoming matches?
It's a big number, 9 catches. If you drop on international level,
Right.
you cannot even think about winning the match
True.
or draw the match.
Absolutely.
If you drop 5 catches in club cricket,
Right.
you can lose to a ordinary team. So this is very big question. Why they drop the catch?
Right.
Why they
Right.
cannot hold the team? What they are thinking at that time?
Right.
All of my career I've been fielding in slip cordon and gully area. I've almost 125 first class catches,
Right.
and maybe more.
Wow.
So you have to be focused all the time, and you have to think that this ball is coming to me.
Right.
And how you will grab the ball when during the over you have to practice with the ball in those conditions. It's cold, the weather is changed from the climate is changed.
Right.
So this is very important practice. You do like this, you hold the ball and you grab it and you feel the ball.
Right.
So if you stand like this, ball come to keeper and goes to bowler, and all the time 120 overs you are fielding. If you are not feeling that ball,
Right.
after 2-3 balls, when the ball catch will come, you will drop it.
Right.
So
So basically, what
basics-
you're suggesting is for anybody who's at the slip or fielding, they have to continuously, obviously, keep their hands warm. They need to be mentally alert. They need to be physically present in the field. But coming to a point,
Exactly. If you will not feel the ball, if you will not practice it,
Right.
after 2-3 balls,
right,
you can even you lose your focus.
Absolutely.
So this is only for your focus and your concentration, to increase your concentration. So I think that was very disappointing from Pakistan cricket team, the fielding.
yes,
especially.
absolutely. So do you think we need because we're still lacking a fielding coach? I think we need to imply that as well, if I'm not wrong here.
Yes, you are standing in slip. You will be standing 20 overs and you will not get any edge. And in 21st over, first ball you get edge and you are not concentrating. Obviously, you'll drop the catch.
True.
And after that, fielder drop another catch.
Right.
Then his partner. So it's like wave in the team.
Exactly. And
So
automatically,
these are
if if one of the team member drops the catches, it's a very humiliating situation, obviously, because if we look at
Yeah.
Kane Williamson, or the point that we could have maybe broken that 200 that he actually made, or even besides that, I mean, like, we could have made that trickle down effect because we missed one catch, we missed the second, third, and automatically everybody started dropping it.
I would remember one incident in Rawalpindi Test against India. I was standing at point,
Right.
and Rahul Dravid played a cut shot. And it was in the air,
Right.
and the background was red behind me because there were tamboos,
Right.
and I lost the ball,
Right.
and I dropped the catch,
Right.
and he got 200.
Right.
So one catch drop. If you drop a good player,
Right.
once he will score double 100.
Absolutely.
So that happens with us as well. It happens once, it's okay, but 9 times it's not okay.
Right. So basically, you're definitely suggesting that to bring that focus back on, we still need specific coaches that could actually teach us and make us practice to that point of not dropping catches, because catches win matches, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So
And fielding is totally individual's hand. Player, if he wants to improve his fielding,
right,
he can be a jaunty road
right,
of the team. It's
right,
totally up to him.
right,
Because it's all about practice, it's all about collecting the ball, it's all about focus, it's all about agility.
Right.
And it comes with your practice. Every day you field, every day you do 100 catches every day. For professional cricketer, if he's a first class cricketer, 100 catches is must for him every day. It improves his batting and it improves his catching skill.
Right. One more thing, when we were there, obviously before going, we had a series with Zimbabwe. When Zimbabwe was touring Pakistan, obviously Zimbabwe was like touring to Pakistan, so they were definitely under quarantine. And after that, they played. They won only one match, and obviously we won a lot of matches. We still are hopeful, but South Africa, on the contrary, is definitely a stronger team, and they've slowly and gradually come to that point of devising their strategies, plans. Because I just spoke to this South African journalist a few days ago, and he said that they're absolutely ready and they're actually on fire. But as per him, he still suggested that Pakistan will be performing some serious good stuff. That's what he said, because it's going to be Pakistan's home ground.
Obviously, Pakistan is the one of the top side of the world cricket.
Right.
But that's not enough. If you have all the good players in the team,
Right.
if they do not perform, look, consistency is the key to success.
True.
And
Absolutely.
if you do not perform with consistency, you cannot be a good player. So this will be also a test for those who are performing, and if they will not perform, we can lose the series, because South Africa is a good side, and we need to make a good batting and spin tracks.
True.
We need a spin tracks for this series. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will be a very high scoring games.
Because that's what I spoke to the South African journalist, and he exactly said the same thing, that South Africa is basically coming on board with two spinners and two fast bowlers. They're not focusing on three fast bowlers and one spinner. So I think you're absolutely right with regard to the spin part. But yes, we still do believe and we still do have hope with regards to the team performing well. Because let's talk about, for instance, Shan Masood. Shan Masood was unable to perform, I think, for a while now, and which definitely is creating a lot of noise, which is creating a lot of situation scenarios. Our top order needs to be solid. What can be done to make them solid?
Look, it is a question mark, a big question mark of Shan Masood performance. Right. And I'm very surprised how he is not performing.
Exactly.
Because the guy who scored 200s on in Test cricket, and both are away, hundreds.
Right.
One was in Sri Lanka,
right,
and one was in England.
Right.
And I'm so surprised. What is psychological lock he has, and why he's not performing? This is a question mark, and he should
let's hope.
this.
Yeah, I think we should hope for the best. Thank you, Yasir Hamid, for joining us. It was lovely talking to you, and your wisdom will definitely take us a long way. Thank you once again.
Same here. Thank you very much.
So we had the wisdom of Yasir Hamid with us, which was very interesting. There was a lot of things that he as a cricketer knows when it comes to the actual ground. So he definitely has the whole idea, but obviously he's upset with the performance with regards to Pakistan cricket team, as we all are. But yet again, still hopeful to see that how can we really expedite it. Let's see what really happens when South Africa comes to Pakistan and they start their journey, because it would be the right time to prove our worth. Because if this does not happen, so as he mentioned, that then we will definitely be needing some serious changes. Anyways, that was the interesting side of cricket that we discussed. Like I said, you can also reach us whenever you guys want to through our social media. Anyways, I'll just go to the next news, which is going to be about football. Yes. So Paul Pogba actually managed to take Manchester United on the top of the Premier League, as they actually won against Burnley. So that is going to be very interesting, and he actually scored one goal, which was definitely 1-0. But the point is, he actually managed to bring his team on charts on the top. I was just going through the entire situation scenarios with regards to Premiership, and I think Premier League is absolutely going strong, even though there are a lot of situations with regards to COVID, and its situations is definitely backfiring. Some matches are being cancelled, some are not. But anyways, if you look at the pool, it's Manchester United on top, followed up with Liverpool, and then comes Leicester City, then Everton, and then Tottenham. So it's interesting so far, but some of the matches obviously are being cancelled as well, which is the entire situation. But anyways, the good part is that he eventually Paul Pogba actually managed to bring Manchester United on top. So anyways, we'll move on to the next Grand Prix situation here. Yes, it was really planned. The Grand Prix was actually planned in Australia, the Formula One. But actually, what happened was that all of them have actually been postponed because of the coronavirus situation. So the point is, it was initially told to us a few days ago when I did the show, and we had a journalist all the way from the UK, and he actually mentioned it to us that there's a major chance that the Formula One and the Chinese Grand Prix will be cancelled. And that's exactly what happened. Obviously, it's a strict situation in terms of COVID and the protocols that we need to be following with regards to every country. Obviously, when we talk about Australia or we talk about New Zealand or other places, they still have a very strong, solid COVID-19 protocols. But they eventually have decided to cancel this event, both of them actually. Anyways, I'll just come up to the last interesting news of Australian Open 2021. Yes, Ankita Raina actually moves into the final round. All right, so India's top-ranked women player Ankita Raina actually moved down to the first round, and she eventually won, which is going to be interesting history. And it is her 6th attempt to crack singles main draw of Grand Slam, and she's now just one win away from creating history. So we wish her the best, and we wish all the sports out there the very best. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We'll be catching up with you guys very soon. Till then, take good care. Bye-bye.